know that we are somewhat late, but let me tell you what. We were having the Washington conference, which was being aired on most of our stations. And it was indeed um, a privilege to watch that from a distance. With the amount of information that was shared, I just did not want you to rob you of the kind of information that was shared there this evening. But let me say to you, it's always, always, always a privilege to be here with you and to share with you information. And of course, this is authentic information we share with you. We don't have to pad up anything. We say these stories just as they are. Because when you look around, that's what we see. And when you listen, that's what you hear. All these made up stories that people try to tell you. So tonight, I want to say good night to everyone who's watching. Call up your friends, call up your neighbors, call up everybody. Tell them advancing the cause is on and they need to be tuned in now. Tonight, we're looking at very, very simple. I had this one before where I said, you think the PPPC easy? They're not. You think the PPPC easy? And we know that because if we're to recap what has happened yesterday, the day before, you'll understand what I'm saying, that they are not easy. So, in our highlights tonight, we want to share with you some quick ones. One, we saw the most recent of all, David Patterson was blocked or he was prevented from leaving the Cheney Jagan airport for Washington. And I think the operator is going to pull that up for us. He was blocked from leaving, yes, and so that's David Patterson there who was attempting to travel, but then he was prevented from traveling because his name was on a list where persons are blacklisted. And so he was one of the persons who was blacklisted. But what we found strange is that the commissioner of police acting, he came with a story to tell us that Patterson's name was mistakenly left on the list. Patterson's name was mistakenly left on the list. And I don't know. I don't know who will compensate Mr. Patterson for that. But right away, Mr. Patterson made contact with his attorneys. And of course, they started making the calls. And then you got this excuse. And then just after that, you got an apology. I don't know why we always have to do foolishness and then we have to apologize for what? For doing foolishness. Now, the kind of embarrassment you caused to David Patterson, but it's not really the embarrassment that was caused to David Patterson. What the PPP were trying to do is to prevent more information from being shared with the delegates who are at that conference. That was the whole thing behind it, them wanting to prevent information from being shared at that conference. And so we had the prevention, and then we had an excuse mistakenly left on the no-fly list, and then we had an apology. But let me tell you, if I were Mr. Patterson, I would not accept that apology. I wouldn't accept it. And I know David did not accept the apology. And further, somebody would have to pay me for all the inconvenience that you would have caused me. But the good thing is, David Patterson would have already done his due diligence. And so David Patterson went out there and he checked with the courts, and the court said they have not put out anything there. And so they've given him clearance to fly. So I don't know how come the police commissioner acting and whoever else had David's name on a list, a no-fly list. I tell you, you think they're easy? So are we to say, or are we to understand that the commissioner of police acting himself is being pulled into something that he is not supposed to be in, and he has no control over what he's being pulled in? well, Joyanne Beckers and Stephen and so on. Y'all gonna tell us a little later on because we're gonna be opening the phone lines, and so you will tell us. But this is absolute nonsense. This is foolishness to the highest extent. Here is it. The court never issued any clamp on David Patterson in terms of him traveling. But here is it. The police, they're having his name on a no-fly list. How you putting a man's name on a no-fly list when you did not have that kind of authority from the court? So wait, it's wild, wild west we have here? That's how we're operating, as if we don't know what we have to do. And when you think this was bad, well, the first one we had was the one with the holidays, the holiday Thursday of last week. Operator, could you? I don't know if you have it there. We had the holiday, big holiday. Memo went out. Shortly after that, holiday get pulled back. I mean, we behaving like little children, and we operating as if, well, not we, as in me and the opposition, but the installees are operating. Well, I shouldn't say they are operating. They just don't know what to do. They're confused. They just don't know what to do and how to do anything. And so they're just doing wild, wild west. So we got a stool pigeon. I'm hearing a stool pigeon. Stool pigeon said his name is on a list. Then stool pigeon said they forgot to take it off the list. And then stool pigeon went further to say, we apologize. I tell you what. Operator, you found the letters with we had the holidays and then no holiday after. Holiday for Thursday and then no holiday after. Well, the operators seem not to be able to find that one. But come on. If you want to be government, then you have to be able to rule, to govern. This thing is not a jokey thing. You caused that man. And yes, it was willful, and we know that because they're not easy. That is how the PPP operate all the time. You'll see the Minister of Education jump up the other day to talk about same food, same air, same something. She was talking about Bartica Secondary School and 3 Miles and so on. And she blaming everybody else for the poor performance at the school, except herself. Priya must take the blame. When there's a lapse in the education system, Priya has to take the blame for that. Don't blame nobody else and talk about the same air and same food. What nonsense you're talking about? I guess it's the same air and same food. That's why you said in Parliament loud and bold, she's a preposition. Nonsense. You got to fix the business. You got to fix it. But this is what happens when we have persons who are installed. When they're installed, that's how they behave. That's how they behave. And more so, when they recognize that their time soon come to an end, that's how they behave. And we're not going to condone those kinds of behavior. And then by the time we're not finished with this kind of slackness, we had the vice president, the vice president, Barra Jagdew. The man who every Wednesday he would sit in front of a screen and all the time. Everybody getting views when he comes out there. He behaves like Sitira girl. He behaves like her, lifting up his skirt all the time and abusing everybody. Everybody getting cussed out. So he jumped up to talk about the Exxon Mobil, the whole thing with the audit and so on. He jumped up to talk about it, and then the numbers moved from one set to another set, and then there was no this and there was no that, and then eventually you heard there was a meeting, and when he was cornered, he went on to say, "Oh, he has to investigate who authorized this meeting." I mean, this man is vice president. This man is minister of natural resources. This man is minister of finance. This man is the president. This man is the general secretary. This man is everything. Every single thing is this man. And it's all, and yes, you're right. It's share Tom and Jerry business we having. Share Tom and Jerry business we having. Because they don't know what they're about. And you see, the thing is, when you are corrupt and dishonest and you have no integrity, this is what happens. This is what would happen to you when you're corrupt. So they can't stick to one story. Every time you listen to Jagdio has a different story. So now is we got the Exxon audit scandal. So Barrett only got Barrett Rosa and Jagdio as his name. He got Barrett, the champion of the earth, Barrett, the vice president, Barrett, the president, Barrett, the finance minister, Barrett, the now natural resources minister, Barrett, the no marriage man. Y'all remember that story when he said he was married and he wasn't married? Yeah. All those titles are added to Jagdio. In addition to that, the man, we got to add the other title to him, the man who has a disdain for anybody who doesn't abide by his ideas. Anybody who doesn't abide by his ideas, he has a disdain for you. So once he has a disdain for you, he can call you a criminal, he can call you a this, he can call you a that, he can call you all kinds of things. Look, I got a real, wait, it's called it, wait, it's put it on the neck. Can't even find the name of the thing right now. But I got one of that for Jagdio, and I'll put all his titles on them. All the titles that he has, I'm gonna put it on that. Not Rosemary. No, not Rosemary. Whatever you call the thing, man, that they would put around your neck. I can't remember the thing. Sometimes they give me so. I can't remember the thing. But I'll get one of that for Jagdio. And the next time I get an opportunity, the next time I have an opportunity, you see, I don't really line close to Jagdio, because Jagdio got too much all kind of negative vibes this kick off from me. So I don't really line close to Jagdio. But I will tell people, and the mala, thanks Kevin, the mala. I'm gonna put on a mala around his neck and put all the titles there for him. I'm gonna put it on. Is the mala you call it? I ain't sure. But I'll get one of that for him with all the various titles that he's having. He's very, very venomous. And I don't know why he's so venomous. I mean, I don't understand how a man could be so wicked. And outside of being wicked, a man could be so stink and dirty. No wonder we got a dirty man to show you, we got a dirty man to show you. All of them in the same grouping. So it's he, Priya, you got poor Vikram there going through a kind of pressure. I don't know. Look, the next dirty man down there. That's the next dirty man. So all of them stink and dirty. And so you don't know, you don't know how to balance. They can't balance. You got Onage. Poor she didn't even know where she there. You got the prime minister. He doesn't even know if he's prime minister or minister prime. He don't know which one is he. And so we had just the other day a big scandal coming from the prime minister's office. Operator, I don't know if you'll be able to find that one. A big scandal from the prime minister's office. I hope he's going to be able to answer for it. Or the persons who are bringing the office of the prime minister into disrepute. That persons will pay for that. I mean, people can't be holding positions in big offices and you carrying on. Well, I shouldn't say that because monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. And when people see the kind of madness that's happening, persons just feel that, okay. It's all right for me to do that. We got big scandal. Big scandal coming out of the prime minister's office where persons from his office are going to they went and they took things on credit, I would want to presume, and now big money's got to be paid. I don't know who paying them, but many times it's taxpayers' money paying these things. Taxpayers' money have got to pay for these things. Look, if y'all want to eat big and fancy, please be ready to pay for it. Just be ready to pay for what you want to eat, what you want, whatever you want to order. pay for it. Oh gosh, I see Donna Joseph said again, blackout again. Edgil, where you there? Edgil, where are you? Deodat, where are you? We tired of this blackout thing, man. Come on. Every 2 minutes is a blackout. What wrong with y'all? You know, none of you could put your feet in Patterson's shoe. None of you. Guyana, the Dubai of the Caribbean, and every 2 minutes is a blackout here, and a whole day blackout, and a half day blackout. Donna, girl, I'm sorry for you, but if you have data, then you use your data to watch the program. But this is what the citizens in this country have got to be faced with. Every minute, when it's not the blackout, is the water cut off. When it's not the water cut off, is the garbage. When it's not the garbage piling up, is the contractors. Oh, life, when are we going to rid ourselves of all these negativities? When are we going to rid ourselves of them? But I can tell you what, get yourselves ready. Get your ID cards. Register, get your ID cards. Because when the time for voting come around, there is where we can shy them out and we can rid ourselves of all this negativity. Every 2 minutes is a foolishness in Guyana. Every 2 minutes. So by the time we're not finished, by the time we're finished with, we ain't settled the scandal business yet. We ain't settled that yet. Up come Joe Hamilton. Oh gosh. I don't know what that man is really doing in that space there on Brickdam. I just don't know. Every 2 mornings, some contractor, some laborer, somebody falling off of a building. I don't know what that man is doing there. All these huge buildings are going up, and you don't know whether these people get permission or they ain't get permission, or any labor officer checking to ensure that the staff, they are well adorned with the equipment that they're supposed to, their safety equipment. So another family has lost their 18-year-old son. He fell off a 5-story building yesterday. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Where are the reports? Because you don't ever hear about these reports. All you would hear about, oh, an investigation is being conducted. An investigation is being conducted. And you don't hear anything else. Persons must be held accountable. I mean, you cannot replace this life that has been lost. Somebody must be held responsible. I mean, what are we really doing? Huh? What are we really doing? What are we really doing? So Guy Hawk Park right now is dark. And then when by the time we're through with all these workplace accidents, we get workplace fire. So just Saturday night last, we had big fire on the 4th floor, I think, of the Princess Ramadia Hotel. Fire. And you know what has happened? Well, of course, it took a while before the guests could leave and all of that. But look what's happening now. Look what is happening now. The workers are calling out for help. They're calling out for help. And we went there and we got these footages where the staff, they're being asked to do the cleaning and removing all these things. When you got wires, live wires exposed there. Come on. And staff not even geared with the proper safety equipment, mask, and so on. Why are we doing this to our people? And where is Joseph Hamilton? I guess he probably somewhere sit down, cross his legs, doing some foolishness. Where is Joseph Hamilton? Our people are not supposed to be going through these kinds of things. They're not firefighters. Why are you putting them to clean that? This is a real rat race government. A real not what I can't call the word. I mean, we've got to be careful. We have to be careful with what we do. You're not supposed to send your staff there. Why are you sending your staff there? Is it because You don't want the fire experts to come to find what caused the fire? Joseph Hamilton, just wake up. If you're tired, bow out. Don't take up job that you can't handle. And we know that you're tired. We know that you're tired. The mere fact that you have to lie on many occasions, that alone just causes you to be tired. And that's what you have to do. Because you can't say the stories as straight as they are, because you'll be looking for another job. But come on. Don't let those people have to be there to clean up nothing. The fire experts must go there, do their investigation, and after that has been completed, let the people who supposed to come and pull up the rubbles, let them come and pull it up. Not your regular staff. And you know, this is what we allow to happen to our citizens, where we allow foreigners to come here and treat our people as if they're second class and third class citizens. According to my good friend Anil Nandalal, he is a chat 3. So I figure these people probably maybe chat 6, if there's the lowest chat. So that's how you're allowing foreigners to treat them, because they're lower than you. So they're being allowed to be treated that way. Nonsense. Guyanese people, you have to open your eyes. We have to wake up and open our eyes and say no more to these kinds of foolishness. You notice? We giving the Venezuelans who come here, we giving them all kinds of things. We giving them birth certificates because we want them to register to vote, and ID cards. We want them to come and register. The PPP want them to come and register for them. So you're giving them ID cards. They get this, they ain't got to get that. You're giving them ID cards, you know? And when you're giving them ID cards, you're giving them all kinds of handouts. And our people are here and they're suffering. And while you're doing that, the president of Venezuela is issuing threats. Issuing threats to us. I mean, what are we really doing? I remember it was alleged that the same Vice President Barajagdio promised Venezuela that he can give them a part. So maybe the people are taking up on that promise. Maybe they're taking up on that promise. What we do is share nonsense. And again, viewers, I want you to know, tell your friends, tell everybody that the People's National Congress, as a matter of fact, the coalition APNU AFC, we have said through the leader of the opposition to the president that we will stand with him toe to toe. I know he report that one, you know. He ain't report that one at all, but he reporting about handshake. He report that he spoke with the leader of the opposition, and the leader of the opposition gave him all assurance that we are with him on this one. You see, our heart and soul is about our country. And so whether we're in government or not, when it comes to our territorial space, we sing in the same tune, not a blade of grass, not one blue saki, not one Coras, because Guyana is we own. Essequibo is we own. So the leader of the opposition would have spoken to him, and he has given him the full support of the opposition. When we heard about that, when those statements were released by the president of Venezuela. But you know what? They ain't reporting on that. But they're going to report that Norton didn't shake his hand. They're going to report that the opposition is this. Again, the leader of the opposition has signaled to the president that I am in full support for the confirmation of the chancellor and the chief justice. You ain't hearing anything about it. But I have to tell you these things because they're not going to tell you them. You think the PPP easy? They're not easy. They're not easy. And look what's happening. We got the play field at Ithaca. All of these ministers incompetent. Let me say that. Look at the ground and the pavilion at Ithaca. That's where the school children, this term is school sports term. This is where the children from Ithaca, this is where they have to come and sit. Look the stories. Look the bridge. 3 years they're in office, all the oil money they got. 3 years in office. They can't even fix this bridge. But you know what they'll jump off to say? Why didn't the coalition do it? Why the coalition didn't do it? Well, I want to tell you that the coalition did work there. But after 3 years and a whole lot of rain and so on, you're supposed to be fixing it. It's 3 years now you're in there. The coalition was there since 2015 to 2020. You were there 3 years. Look, don't tell me that the grass grew up when the coalition, under the coalition. So, operator, could you show us the other pictures? Look, yes, this is the present condition of the Ithaca Primary School playground and pavilion. That's the condition. Shame on you, Priya. Well, don't bad with the boy who say he's the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. He doesn't understand anything about sports, nothing about culture, nothing about youth. He didn't understand that. Other things carry away part of his brain. So he doesn't understand what this means. You don't see cricket get taken away from me? Yeah, the whole management of the CPL cricketers. So did you see him play any part there? No, because they understand, but they're shame. So Charles Ramson, get some work. Fix that. Fix that. You're walking, jumping all over the place. Oh, you're building stadium here and multi-purpose stadium here and stadium there. Fix what you have. And then look to build others. Don't leave what you have to fall apart and then you're going to build. But y'all know, we know exactly why they want to go and start from scratch. Because when you start from scratch, if you're supposed to have a pavilion with six treaders on it, 6 rows of seats, they can put 8, 2 for them. That's why they want to start from scratch. So Charles Ramson, go fix this. And since I'm on school sports, I want you to know that in Linden, there is no space available there for the students and the pupils and the nursery school learners to have their sports. They ain't got no sports ground there. So go fix it. Fix it. And you know, these, let's be factual. Is Linden up at them, right? It's Ithaca, right? You notice those 2 places that are called in there? Then we got another community center at Liverpool on the quarantine. These people not easy. Y'all think they're easy? They're not easy. They're wicked, very wicked. So we got Ithaca and we got Linden. Try and find somewhere there. The PPP were prepared to spend how much millions of dollars to fix a field next to Lisha's Hall so that they can host a party. You see what I'm talking about? So that they could host some All Black or something party. They were going to fix it to host. That's what they're about. That's what they are about. Very unpatriotic, and they don't like a certain grouping of people. So the sports grounds, Charles Ramson, go get it fixed. Priya, you know I always got to talk about you. Because the time you take to flounce yourself all over, you should sit down, settle, and start putting pen to paper and fixing things that are supposed to be fixed in the education system. So we got this nice fancy building on Albert Street, and it's named St. Gabriel's Nursery School. Now y'all tell me, how in heavens you building a nursery school with 2 flats? That's the first craziness. 2 flats. Those little babies, you're putting them to walk up stairway for them to run up and fall down. You see? This is the stairway, St. Gabriel's Nursery School. St. Gabriel's Nursery. And when you get into the building now, the lower flat, they didn't even tile it. They didn't even tile the lower flat. And so every 2 days, The children getting sick, the parents getting sick. This fancy building. Look the outside of this. And they open the school, you know. Look what's going on the outside of this building there. Look. It ain't clean. It ain't clean. You see how nice they paint up outside to give everybody the impression that the inside is so beautiful. So when the children started getting sick, and the teachers and the head teachers and everybody start crying out, and the parents start crying out, they come and they paint the flooring on the lower flat. But the upper flat ain't paint. Even the stairway that they just do it shaking.
Okay.
We are really doing
So
it
this is
all.
the kitchen.
Huh?
Look at look.
Look the kitchen.
The
Look,
legends.
operator, put it good. Let the people see how taxpayers' monies are being wasted. Second class work. Look the kind of rough shelf that they do
No
there. Look,
cupboards.
rough countertop. That's the kitchen. Priya, go and fix these things. Go fix it. Look, we had a freezer and we had a stove. They couldn't even spray that. They couldn't even spray that. I mean, but all these things will add up to millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. All these crazy
So
things
these
will
are
add
the
up to.
windows. Stiff. You can't open only if you can't even
The
open the
place
windows.
hot in there.
Right? They're stiff. They cannot be opened. And these are windows like these are upstairs as well.
So the children are baking in there. And you know the kind of heat that we're experiencing at this time. The children baking in that school. Priya, you and your officers go out there and fix this. Fix it. So the lower flat is painted, the upper flat, they still got the dust to contend with. And you know why they're having the dust to contend with? Because instead of putting 4 sacks of cement, the contractor put 3 or 2.5. So poor mixture, and that's what you end up with. Look what's happening at the back here. Nursery school children got to play around here, you know. You hurry, you want to reopen school, you want to reopen the school, you're hurrying to do things, and look the kind of danger that you're putting people's children, you're exposing people's children to. 5-year-old, 4 years old, 3 years old. That's what you're exposing them to. For some child go and be very outgoing and want to explore, and the next thing you know, they go and climb up on one of those things and it fall down. Look, you see what's going on at the back there? This is the school. Are you ashamed, people? Huh? Y'all ain't got no shame whatsoever. And then the girl creators want to say that I'm obsessed with her. Obsessed with her for what? I'm upset because you get them. These are the kinds of crazy work you're passing. These are the kinds of crazy work you're passing. Unfinished work at St. Gabriel's Primary School. But the school is open and children are going to school as per normal. You think they're easy? They don't care about Black people's children. But I showed you a school last week where the president child going to. I showed you that one. And then we want to talk about One Guyana. One Guyana we want to talk about. Watch the classroom there. Watch the classroom there. Watch that classroom there. And look another classroom right next to it. Grade 3, furnace. Butuka Day Primary. And if we could go, I don't know, operative, you'll be able to pull up St. Gabriel's Nursery. You can see the little classrooms that they got. Watch classroom there. You see AC unit and so in the class there. Watch this one. You see what this one they got there? Black roof. Roof paint in black. I mean, what? We got to go back to ABC, like you know, like our older folks would say. You got to go back to ABC to teach these people what to do. I mean, what is wrong with them? When are we going to fix this thing? Y'all think it will be easy? these folks, like one of my friend would say, these people shame out all their shame, so they ain't got no more shame. They ain't got no more shame. Look what we got going on the roads. Big container truck. Just the other day, one container slide off the truck. Well, there was another one sliding off the truck. I mean, where where is the Guyana police force in all of this? Can't we not set a specified time for these container trucks to traverse the road? In the middle of traffic during the day, this is what is happening. Block off Hatfield Street, right behind my Ministry of Health. Block off the street, halfway the street there, because it was either turning to go in there or something. Block off that whole street. So you had to turn, that's Haley Street, you come through and you turn up there, and you couldn't go to the other half of Hatfield Street. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. When are we going to get things right? When y'all gonna get things right? Huh? When y'all gonna really get things right? And then we saw, since I'm on this, getting things right, Bamia Primary School, again, Bamia Primary School. I don't know when we're finishing it. I hear the contractors said in 2 months they'll be finished. But let me tell you what, the workers there are crying out. The workers are crying out that they're forcing them to work longer hours. Same money, but longer hours because they want this school to finish. So let me tell y'all something. Don't hurry up to finish this school and do shabby work. Don't hurry up to finish and do shabby work. If you got to face penalties, face your penalties and do something good. Don't hurry up to do foolishness and then you injure somebody's child. So I don't know how this 2 months, this school gonna be finished when you notice halfway there, they're now putting on the rafters there, the other section there ain't got nothing on it. I don't know. But you see, the people who get the contract to do this, they're like me. Construction work is not for them. It's not for them. Stay and talk. Stay and talk. Whether you have a mic set up in the roof or you got it pinned onto your shirt or something, or wherever you have it on a table, stay and talk. Or you have the mics, on stands and they're facing you and they're facing other. Stay and talk and play music. Don't bother with construction because it's not for you. It's not for you. And I understand, yes, you're not doing it, but come on. It's because you don't understand what is supposed to be done. That's why we in this situation. So I'm awaiting the completion of what's the school name? I didn't even remember the school, Bamia Primary School. And then by the time we moved from Bamia Primary School, we got here a little child whose parents are saying, I think the child is asthmatic, something like that, but the parents are not buying what they told them. The parents are not buying what they told them. I mean, what are we really doing at all? Frank Anthony, you too. I mean, I know you're a little, kind of crazy. But come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Family of 5-year-old asthmatic child, they're dissatisfied with their autopsy results. And this is not a now story, This is not a now story. These stories been long, long, long. I can tell you that. You know how many persons die and their autopsies are inconclusive? You know how many of them? You know how many persons have died and they get all kinds of other things as the reason for their death? So it's not a now thing, but I understand the pain that this family is feeling, because you know what I can tell you? I have an aunt who still carries the pain for a daughter that she lost. Plenty years ago. I think it might have been what? 2014, 2010, 2020. A long time. Plenty years. And you know what they said to her? The postmortem, the postmortem was inconclusive. Inconclusive. It's a big company, DDL, when they used to bring the drink Mountain Dew. I don't know how many of you remember that student, that story with the University of Guyana student who bought the Mountain Dew right at the back gate there, drank it, fell down. They rushed her to the hospital. Of course, you know, they take their own time to do what they're supposed to do. The child died. Young, promising girl died. The contents of the bottle, some was shared with the parents and the doctors. The police kept some. They took out body parts that never went anywhere. Talk after me. It never went anywhere. You think these people easy? You think some of you think some of our servicemen and women easy? Huh? You think some of them in the Guyana police force easy? The body parts went nowhere. So all those years have passed, and my aunt, up to a day like today, she know how she child dead. But what they knew is that whatever was in that Mountain Dew drink, whatever was in that beverage, it scorched her organs. It burnt her tongue. As a matter of fact, her tongue was split in two. And black. So I understand the pain that this family is feeling with the report that they got from the autopsy. But let me tell y'all something, you know. Rain don't fall at one person's doormouth. You recognize a couple of things happening? More will happen. Frank Anthony Heartless, Priya Manikchan Heartless. Don't talk about the little one Charles. He can't pronounce words, so don't even bother with he. Anil Nandalal, I hope he gets a little heart now because oh, the heartless, all of them heartless. All of them. Well, Joe don't even know where he is. Joe don't know where he is. Whether he's young, whether he's not so young, whether he doesn't know where he is. That's the man they call Pulauri Joe. You almost ask him how he got that name, Pulauri Joe. I'll tell you all the story next time. But on a serious note, education in a mess. Yes. Health, more mess. Labor, mess up. Sports, jeez. Well, don't talk about ropes and Ben. Don't talk about throw down self, man, Ben. He like throw down himself on the ground. I am moving. And at every fire, he positions himself. And we can't get the reports of the fire. And even if you get a little report, you hear it's arson. And quite a lot of these places got fancy cameras around. And they can't find who set this fire. They can't find who set the fire. People, we got to wake up. We have to understand that we're not dealing with people who got hearts. We're dealing with heartless people. What a shame that little babies are going to school and they have to inhale cement dust. Little babies are going to school and they have to inhale paint, because we're hurrying up. But I can tell you what, callers, we'll pause a little and we're going to take your calls. Our number is on the screen, 651 3556. 651 3556. Well, I got some contracts to share with you just now. All these millions, I got some contracts to share with you. So somebody will tell me where all these monies going, where those contracts that were issued were being executed. Where? Show me the places. Show me the places where things are happening. So we had there, I had one with the commissioner of police in Spanish, man, and we got a vehicle while we're waiting on the callers. We can put up, we have to, I was telling some folks the other day, when you see the police stop you, especially if you see police here on the vehicle, you just tell them, I know, Espanol, Espanol. You let them speak to you in Spanish. Since they got big police on the vehicle, let them speak to you in Spanish. And look how they're so stupid. You got the police force at the top when people talk about it, and we should be clamoring for them to remove that nonsense from off of those police vehicles. We are an English-speaking country. Police, everybody understand police. From the time you see the vehicle and you see flashing lights, it's police. So we don't live in Venezuela. And I want to know, why is it that we are so accommodating? Why are we so accommodating? When Venezuela put in lashes on us, we accommodating them. You got Haitians living in this country. Why you don't put in French police? Put police in French and want to. Because we got Haitians living here. We have Portuguese living here. Brazilians living here. Put police in Portuguese. Since you want to be very, very accommodating and hospitable, put police in all the languages. Not only in Spanish. Put it in French, put it in Portuguese, put whatever other language we got the Nigerians speak and so on, and the Nigerians, and we get French for the Haitians and whoever else, Dutch and so on, because we got Surinamis living here. Put all of those names, line them off on the police vehicle. So when the people look at the vehicle, they know it's a police vehicle. And on the police stations, you could put them too. Since you're making yourself fools, whoever issued that order. I mean, what? They already named somebody the champion of the earth. We all want to be champion of accommodation or champion of hostility. Not hostility, being hospitable. Oh, life, man, come on. We fed up with the nonsense. So callers, you can call us on 651-3556 and share your views on the issues we've spoken about so far. If not, we're going to roll on until we get your calls. But operator, could you put up those contracts for us to see? Let's see those contracts that are issued there. Big fancy amount of monies, contract for this, contract for that, and we're getting the contract from here, and we're getting the contract from there. All over we're getting the contract from. But we're not seeing what is happening. We're really, really not seeing what is happening. We are seeing what's happening. We need to see where these things are happening. All these contracts, look, from 2020 to 2023, we got a 172 million US dollars alone from China to build the new Demerara Harbor Bridge. Well, all kind of thing going on with that, this, the other. Look, 192 million to build 4-lane Georgetown to Mahaica East Coast Embankment Road. Oh God, it's hot in your heart. When are you take them monies? When are you gonna finish? Remember, these are loans and they have to be repaid. When are you gonna finish? I tired. You going up Mahika there, you're going up that road, the two sides of the road, they dig up the two sides of the road so the edges are sharp. And not only sharp, you have a drop. So if by chance a driver is speeding and loses control of his vehicle, bam, overboard he gone. I think there was an accident there, if I ain't like, just the other day. Especially if the road is dark. And look, we got $350 million again. And this is to build 4-lane road to Perica. I ain't know what road we building again from to Perica. Then we got a 190 million US. And we're building, that's to build the Linden to Mabura Road. You come. Show me them things. A call is on. Call a good night to you.
Good evening, my dear. I would like to know what percentage of our population speaks Spanish, or what percentage of our non-population are migrants that speak Spanish, that we have to speak Spanish.
Well,
since I was in school, and from the day of the dinosaur, we were learning Spanish in school. So I don't see what is the big deal. I don't know if you could get those figures for us. So we could see if it's 1% or 25% of our population that speaks Spanish.
Well, caller, I'm happy that you're asking that question. Thanks.
I don't know if to call them refugees or if they're naturalized or what. Because we are not really a border town. Our borders are not really, or we're not populated. I don't know if they are populated now. That might be something to look into.
Well, caller.
We might be overrun.
Thanks for.
This is no joke.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This call is here, and the call is sharing her concern, and she would like to know what percentage of our population speaks Spanish. What percentage? That has caused us to put policia on the vehicle. You must go everywhere. Go everywhere else and put it if you want to put it. But first, we must find out. We must find out first what percentage of our population speaking Spanish. And like everything else, these people always get excited, And the same girl, Priya, she likes to shout out. First time ever, my foot. Exercise books were being given to pupils and students and learners long time ago. So this crap that Priya bring there, I mean, the initiative is a good one, but don't bring foolishness and give people with wrong concepts. But it's the first time ever that she's excited about. First time ever, I think it's Orta, somebody sang that song, first time ever I saw your face. First time she's sharing out exercise books. And that's what she should be saying. First time I am distributing under my stewardship, exercise books are being distributed. But Priya, exercise books were being distributed a long time ago. Spanish must be compulsory in schools. You hear the caller just now, the caller said she has been there since the dinosaur days. And since then, they were learning Spanish in school. So she doesn't understand what's this big excitement. And she asked a very important question. She wants to know whether these persons are naturalized or whether we just bringing them here and offering them all kinds of things. She wants answers to that. So if someone of the trenches, I noticed they're not really on the comments section tonight. Maybe the lesson is so way above their heads that they don't understand. But if any of the trenches there and you have the information, please share it with us. What percentage of Spanish-speaking people we have in this country? Or what percentage of our population is speaking Spanish? And Spanish only, that they don't understand English. Mind you, It's water. Huh? Water. Because I know y'all, I know them. I know them. But just note, I'm not like y'all. I am not like y'all. So we're here again in the same mess, in the same jam because of the PPP. Every time they come around, the same thing, same thing. All they're doing is bringing more flair to it. That's all that's happening. More flair coming to it. So you see all them monies that they can't account for. They got plenty money that they can't account for. Hold on, plenty monies they can't account for. Education, sports, health. Social protection or social services, home affairs, labor. It's plenty monies they can't account for. Just the other day, we were importing truck drivers. Now we are training our people. These people full of stupidness. Full of stupidness. Full of stupidness. But I got one for y'all. I saw just the other day. I think it has been confirmed by now. I saw just the other day. What's his name? Richard Van West Charles. He has been appointed ambassador to Venezuela. Well, I hope he knows Spanish. Because the people ain't gonna paint over the police vehicle, the name of the vehicle, the name of policia in English for you. I hope he knows Spanish. So when he gets there to take up his appointment, he would be able to speak Spanish and speak it fluently. But my brother, best of luck to you. You see, in the PNCR party and in the coalition, we don't hate. What we do, we highlight people who sit around us and pretend to be a part of us. A part of us. People who contest for leadership and all kind of thing. People who pretend that they want to be advisor and so on. But when they don't get their own way, they go all over the place. So yes, we have this Forbes Burnham's son-in-law picked as ambassador to Venezuela. And you know what? I feel really sad that Dr. Luncheon is not here with us anymore. Because I remember him saying we did not have educated Black people to fill the positions as ambassadors. But we got now. And we're happy about that. We're happy about that. So he was there and he told the Demerara Waves that about 7 weeks ago, Guyana finally asked Venezuela to accept Dr. Van West Charles. You see how long this thing been happening? So when we saw the dance up in Canada, or they hung up in Canada, and the dance up at wherever they had there, is because it's 7 weeks ago, all this thing they cooking up. Oh, yes. You see how we put it? Well, I ain't gonna say it, but somebody saying it's another charandas. Well, go with God's grace, love. Go with God's grace. And I hope that, when you go there, you can talk to the president, with the president named Maduro. You can talk to him and let him know that, Essequibo belong to us. And they should take their eyes off of that. So I noticed Maduro wants to have cordial talks. So we can probably ask Van West to start setting up the talks. He can do some of the preliminary talking. But again, when the PPP, they like to, and this same Van West Charles, they get cussed out from Jagdio, this same Van West Charles, they get cussed out. Jagdio, they cuss you out. But now, Jagdio take him in there, Jagdio take him in there. I'm waiting on the Exxon Mobil audit business. I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for that to come out. And it's not one person talking about it, everybody talking about it. Well, Glenn Lal don't stop talking about Exxon. He doesn't stop talking about how we are being raped and robbed and so on in this country, and all our monies are leaving the shores of Guyana. But I'm waiting to hear about this big scandal. Vikram Bharat, I'm feeling sorry for you because he might send you home. He might send you home. But a little bird whispered the other day to me that Dirty Man is operating somewhere within the Ministry of Health. I am not sure, but those who are here, y'all follow it up for me while I'm going to follow it up. That same Dirty Man there, yes, that Dirty Man there. Well, that's the worst place you're sending him, Ministry of Health. You go to Ministry of Health, you got to go and deal with nurses, you got to deal with patients, baby mothers, teenagers, more teenagers, more teenagers. Hey, I fix the thing right. Remove Dirty Man from there. Remove him from there. And you see how the man ain't got no shame? The man still got on his Facebook page, honorable. Honorable what? When? Where? You still? You were never honorable. Never. So the man driving around the place and he all kind of live videos he doing. I think he running mad by now. I think so. I think so. But if that thing that what I'm hearing is true, that he is somewhere at the Ministry of Health, Ali movie. Move him from there. He is not fit to be anywhere around the people. More so around the females. He ain't fit. I want to go and play that he's some. I don't want him to go and behave as if he's some doctor, put some stethoscope around his neck and put on a white gown and go in any ward or anything, you know. I want that. So y'all move that man from there. Move that man from there. We ain't want that kind of man. Simon Blackman, good night to you. Good night to you, Simon. We ain't want that man there. Things were said about that man, that he raped, he sodomized, he cursed, he bullied, all kind of thing was said about that dishonorable man. So move him. If he wants to be called honorable, he must let the case go forward. Let the accusation, let all the investigations and so let them go through. You ain't got nothing to hide. You ain't got nothing to hide. So let the thing go through. Let it go through. Tyrone Peters, behave yourself. Tyrone Peters, behave yourself. Don't try to set me up. Behave yourself. Behave yourself, Tyrone Peters. All I can say about that man there, that used to be our comrade, and we can still consider him a comrade. Not Dirty Man, Dr. Van West Charles. All I can say is to wish him God's blessing. So, Tyrone, don't try to set me up. Yes. And so we're moving on. We were looking at the loans. We were looking at all of those loans. Well, you know, one of the things I like is that my good friend, Brian Marks, the guy who was standing there for democracy, he put in lashes right now. And I like that. They now understand who the PPP be. Caller, good evening to you.
Yes, good evening, Madam McDonald.
Good evening to you, my dear. How are you doing?
Not too bad, but I don't like the way you're talking tonight, like you vex.
Nah, man. What vexing about?
No. The way how I hear you speaking, sometimes I can see it in your face.
You seen a lot of things in my face. You Jesus.
What I want to say, the last time I saw the president when he was in England, and when the man was interviewing him, you know, he's very, very aggressive. But when he reached there, he wasn't aggressive at all. And that thing make me remember in early August, he went to see some contractors that was building the road. And when he go there, he had someone with him with a list. And the man was calling up the names and those people coming to him. Imagine a man walk up to him and say, "Take your hands from behind your back. Stand up right there." And he held on the man. How long you get? He asked the man with the book, much percent he do? The man said 45% or something like that. And he keep calling on the man. He said, then he asked somebody else, he called the next man. He said, come here, come in front of me. And when he get to a man, the man, it seems as though he's a white man. When he talked to the man, he said, how much percent you have? How long you have? The man said, well, I don't have the logs. I don't have sun. And he tell the man, but I want to know how long you will take. The man said, when I have these things, and before the man finished speaking to him, how he respect the man so much, he just asked the man with the list, who next, call the next person. How he's afraid of persons with colored, or because the man speak well, because the man was a well-spoken
Has a different
man,
accent.
he was so much afraid. He was so much afraid that he had to shut his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a good night. Next time. No, before I leave, let me say something else to you. Something that bothers me a lot. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, something that bothers me a lot is that if you look at my number, you can see where I'm calling from. But what I want to say is when you leave Guyana, you go into Suriname. When you go into Suriname, they give you a slip to fill up.
Mm-hmm.
You must know your mother name, father name, your baggage slip, if you carry money, and a set of things just to leave Guyana to go to Suriname, or when you leave Suriname going in back to Guyana. And that thing, it has really sent me mad. The one time I was going to Guyana, when they give me the slip, you must say your sex, your what they call it, occupation, and just to show them that they don't look at the paper they give you to fill up. When they put sex, I put last night. Occupation, I put sex man. And the immigration look at it and they never do nothing to it because they don't look at it. They just give you those paper to fill it up
To
like
fill it up.
stupidness.
You know.
About 2 weeks back, I was in France. From France, I go to London. And from the time I leave French Guyana, go to London, and come back, I never stamped my passport. Neither I was never asked to fill up a slip nor anything. And if we going down Dubai Road, I think we should start getting those things clear. Have a good night.
Thank you for calling. And so shout out to my folks there in French Guyana. Thank you for watching. And so you see, this is what I was talking about all the time. We treat our own like rags, but we treat other people like prince and princesses and kings and queens. So the president went there to, he went to England, and he was very respectful when he was talking to the reporter. But our reporters here, he wants to talk to them anyhow. And you must ask me, and you this, and you know, you saw the way he treated his bodyguard the other day when he dragged him. Yeah. Assault. The man ain't got no class, man. He ain't got no class, none whatsoever. No class whatsoever he ain't get. But I want to say to you, about 5 weeks ago, Jagdio was ranting and raving. He was going on. You know why? Because of the Washington Guyana conference, or the Guyana-Washington conference. That conference was having him going crazy. Well, today we had the opening of the conference. Of course, you know, they stopped David Patterson from going. So today you had the opening of the conference. We had MP Cathy Hughes speaking. We had MP Roysdale Ford, Amanza Walton Nazir, I can't remember who else, but I know the leader of the opposition spoke, and they were all well received at that conference. Well, I know Jagdio logged into that conference too, and he didn't like the things that he was hearing, I am sure. Oh, we had the General Secretary of the PNCR, MP Don Hastings speaking. And of course, you know, Rickford was there, and Rickford spoke at that conference. Jagdio didn't like that at all. And tomorrow they're going to meet with the officials, the U.S. officials, congressman and congresswoman, congressmen and congresswomen, women, the Black Caucus. They're going to be meeting with them tomorrow. And here, listen to this joke. Oh yes, and Dr. David Hines was there too, and so many people, so many persons were there. Quite a lot of our folks were there, and I want to say to you that they did not put on a show, but they spoke freely, and they spoke exactly on what was happening. I saw one of our young attorneys, Darren Wade, speaking at that forum too. And of course, we have MP Sherrod there, and Sherrod was speaking at that forum too. But I want to tell you that it is that conference is a conference with a different magnitude, of a different magnitude, and persons will understand exactly what is happening in Guyana and why we have to say what we are saying outside of Guyana, and say in Guyana too. We're not keeping it here. But I learned that Irfan Ali wanted to have some audience with these congressmen and congresswomen and so on. They wanted to talk to them, and they were sharing with them some plan that they had for some plan that they have for the Africans, something to that effect. But they've not even shared the plan here with anybody, because Kathy Hughes is there and she was asked whether she know about this plan. So how you're sharing something outside of Guyana before you share it with the people in Guyana? You got to ask the people in Guyana. Yes. And so while I'm hearing I'm seeing from our viewers there, Kevin said that we got inferiority complex for Massa. So they here are the local masses, and when they go, so they have the colored, the colored masses. Look, I ain't able with these people. I ain't able with them. But that conference is up, and that caused us to be a little late this evening. But I want to tell you that there are lots more information that will be divulged at that conference. And Barra Jagdeo, the vice president, will have to explain to us why a death squad was formed during his presidency. And he is going to have to account for those 14 plus 100 young men who lost their lives. Some of them, you even find some of them, But imagine Barra Jagdeo, he wanted to go to that conference. Imagine Sam Hines. Sam, you drink enough kerosene and coconut water? Why you want to go to that conference? If the people wanted you at that conference, they would have invited you. Don't play pot salt. Why you wanted to go to that conference? To say what? And imagine Jagdeo railing up and riling up himself. He want to go to the conference. And yes, MP Ganesh spoke at that conference, at the opening of that conference too. But I want to know why Jagdeo wanted to go to that conference. When Jagdeo go overseas, and Irfan Ali and all of them, they just invite Rickford Burke. They just invite anybody from the organization that Rickford Burke is a part of. Man, look, rest on yourself. Rest on yourself. Is who on Derek Ali? Derek Ali, go and talk to Barra Jagdeo. Go talk to Barra Jagdeo. Yes, so I'm saying that at that conference again, many more information, quite a lot more information will go out there. And that is what got Barra Jagdeo and all of them running scared at this time, because the world will know again the kind of atrocities that are being meted out there to Black people and persons who don't buy into their foolishness, citizens who are not their supporters. The world will know again the kind of wickedness and spitefulness that is being meted out to some of these persons. Guyanese in this country are so scared sometimes to associate with opposition MPs. They want to talk to you. You got to go somewhere where persons, you're not in the eyes of persons, because from the time something go out there to say for Jagdio to hear, oh, Samuel Saul and Coretta being talking down the road. I know what they're talking about. Pop, Samuel Saul get a lash. Wherever contract he was getting, they're getting pulled back. It's like the people in All Boys Town there on the boulevard and all those little streets that going into All Boys Town. Big show and the $9 billion that they spent. And because the people didn't vote for them, they left the thing just so. Left it just so halfway. Done with them. They went big walk down the road, open the boulevard. Next day, the tables that they put there with the chairs break. Table and chair break. Inferior work, inferior work. And all those streets with all them holes, them little streets, they didn't fix them. They had the folks, the guys who were doing the cleaning up of the trenches and so on. After local government elections Monday, when the guys turned up to work, they told them that the contract finished. And that's because the people didn't vote for them. Because the people ain't vote for them, they tell them that the contract finished. I mean, that's wickedness. That's wickedness. And y'all must stop it. You must stop it. Look, them big numbers and monies what we taking for loan. Huh? Look, them big numbers what we taking for loan. When are we going to be finished with repaying them? When are we going to be finished repaying these? Now we're taking loans to build schools, and the schools still ain't building properly. You're taking loans to build schools, and the schools are not being built properly. We already think it is at all. That we ain't know about anything? Guyanese know about things. Jagdio and Priya and all of y'all must understand. Guyanese travel. Guyanese traveling. So they know about things. And even for those who are not traveling, they know about good living. So y'all don't come with them foolishness to people. Healthcare in a mess. Oh, man. But of course, I got to talk about this one. Before we leave, I have to talk about it. Yes, I have to talk about it. Oh, man. Our friend, when you're paying the teachers, when you're going to pay the teachers, our friend, when you're going to give the teachers something on their salary, when you're going to talk to the teachers' representatives, the representatives who they voted for, the representatives who they elected, and they had no recount, they had no big, no nothing. Those representatives were elected. Free, fair, and transparent elections. And you bypassing those people? You bypassing the people? And saying that you want to go and talk with the teachers, you're consulting with the teachers across this country? You born back to front or what, boy? You born back to front? And this is why y'all have all these problems, because you always putting the cart before the horse. Always. And when you finish, you got to put your foot in your mouth because you recognize you're talking sheer stupidness. You say one thing, Barra Jagdio, undo it. You thought say something, Barra Jagdio, undo it. Vikram said one thing, Barra Jagdio said something else, and Barra turned back and said, I don't know who authorized it. I will have to do an investigation to find out who authorized it. Hey, y'all don't understand what it means to govern, so sit down in a corner. Relax yourselves. I think y'all had enough. Y'all had enough. Y'all cipher off enough. We had enough of friends and favorites and families. We had enough of that. You check some of those contracts. It's somebody father-in-law, somebody cousin-in-law, somebody family, somebody good friend. You check it. Nothing around the PPP is done fairly. Nothing. Absolutely nothing is done fairly around the PPP. But I want you to know that the longest rope has an end. You know, the longest rope has an end. I want to remind you, could we show that clip with all coming from Chanel with the listing with all that the APNU would have done so that our viewers can understand that when you see they paint all kinds of pictures, oh, the coalition never did this, the coalition never did that, oh, the coalition never did so, and the coalition never did so. I want you to understand that there are lots and lots and lots of things. Yes, let's show this first one. Lots of things that the coalition would have done. Look, so you notice, watch the facts here. The coalition government in 2016 increased the number of free dialysis sessions from 32 to 46. The coalition did that. Viewers, the coalition did that. The coalition provided funds as much as $200,000 to kidney transfer patients for sample testing in Miami. Yes, the coalition did that. The coalition also entered into public-private partnership with Dubai's Medical Center. You know? And Calgary University in Canada for free services. And a center was opened in the compound of New Amsterdam Hospital with the intent of servicing patients from regions 5, 6, and up the Berbice River. You know what the PPP did in 2020 when they came into office? They closed that. So no more freeness. They closed it. And these are the people who like to talk about because we care. These are the people who like to talk about because we care. So what the coalition started, they undid it. They undid that. The coalition left a plan there for them to have centers at Diamond and at the West Demerara Regional Hospital. At Georgetown Hospital, there was free dialysis for patients. The coalition reduced the cost by 50%. You know? You know? There was supposed to be another center to service our citizens in regions 8, 9, and 10. And that was supposed to have been completed. It was 85% completed in July of 2020. Ask the PPP what is happening there. So our citizens in this country, if you are a patient with kidney issues and you have to do dialysis and you don't have the monies to spend, if your families don't have the monies to spend, then you know what would happen. And so we lost a 23-year-old young man. The PPP wicked, let me tell you that. Y'all think they're easy? I've been saying a couple of things before, but look, you have the facts here. Is there another clip that we have, operator? The PPP not easy. And let me say to you, the coalition will return to government soon. And we are going to restore and have our citizens enjoy health benefits. They are going to enjoy health benefits. They will enjoy good and peaceful livelihood. There will be peace in the streets. No more harassment from certain police officers. You don't got to pay them no bribe. There will be professional officers in the Guyana Police Force. The Guyana Defense Force will be returned to what it used to be, a force to defend Guyana's territory. Not to be mingling in all kinds of things where they're not supposed to be mingling in. It's sad and disgusting the way we see the PPP operate. But folks, you know, all good things must come to an end. Sherrod wasn't there tonight, so I took 20 minutes of the time that he would normally use. But we will continue this conversation again because we have to expose the PPP because they're not easy. We have to expose them. They're running helter-skelter all over the place. Come. Irfan Ali, you have work to do with your ministers. I noticed the other night you said you couldn't give Monday as a holiday because you have work to do. Well, start doing the work. Start quick. Start doing the work because y'all only wasting time and idling and squatting on seats that you're not supposed to be squatting, that you're not supposed to be sitting on. Fix the business. Education in shambles, health in shambles, our security is in shambles. Every damn thing in this country in shambles. Y'all fix it right. Fix it right. Don't walk around this place and big up yourselves and talk foolishness, empty promises. We don't want empty promises. We want promises that can hold, that got weight. And you know what will happen? All the criminals that y'all like to hover around and got surrounding you, we can sort them out one by one by one by one. Don't worry. We can sort them out. They're exposing themselves already, but we can sort them out. But before I go, I want to say congratulations to the Guyana Amazon Warriors. I know it's not a national team, but at least they're carrying our name. And we know the people who got the franchise who make the big monies. Bobby Ramroop or Ramsaroop, whatever you name and Jack Dio. Them is the people who make the big monies. And let me say to you that the opposition members, you know, these people ain't got no decency about them. When the coalition were in office, for every event that we had in this country, the coalition made it their duty to send official invitations and tickets and whatever you were required to the office of the leader of the opposition. But you know what? They think that Aubrey Norton must go as leader of the opposition to beg them for tickets for cricket. No way it ain't gonna happen. And you know what they did? Let me tell you what they did. They sent tickets to Aubrey Norton. One ticket. So not even his bodyguard could go. One ticket. So they can watch what they plan to do now. But let me tell y'all, when y'all trying to devise all kinds of plans, the plans just get shake up and throw out. All this get take up and throw out. They're sending one ticket for Aubrey Norton. So Aubrey Norton gonna go and sit down in the presidential box or somewhere else. And watch what they can do now. They can come get one of the cameraman to come and take out a picture of Aubrey Norton and say, watch now, lonely board, nobody ain't even talking to you. Well, cat eat all your dinner. Cat eat all your dinner. Y'all didn't have the opportunity to do that. You did not have the opportunity to do that because Aubrey Norton got more sense than you. He got more sense than you. You couldn't even send tickets for the opposition members of parliament and others to go to view the cricket. But you know what? Some of us paid our own monies and we went to the cricket. And our people recognized us. They recognized us. Thank you, Candy, for watching us from all the way up in Cariveton. Thank you. Yes, our MPs, they went to the cricket and they watched the cricket and they enjoyed mingling and meddling with our citizens. So we don't have to go and do this. And the other thing, look how these people wicked. You notice? Marshall Monroe, I figure by now he gets citizenship for Guyana. So every 2 minutes, they made a big noise about Buju Banton and the Redemption concert. But look, every 2 minutes we got Marshall Montano here. Every 2 minutes he there, hey. Every 2 minutes we got what they by name, hey, Kez. And we got our own local people. Well, let me tell you, some of them they're in Barajal, your black book. So you wouldn't see Jomo and them out there. No, they can't. They don't want Jomo and them out there. Certain Guyanese artists, they don't want them there. We got the Yoruba singers. That band has been there in existence for 52 or 53 years. PPP, y'all ain't got no shame? Y'all ain't got no shame? Are you stinking dirty? But congratulations again to the Amazon Warriors. And it's been a long walk to victory, and we're happy that you have done us proud. And I want folks to understand that we can do more than that. And we will do more than that. But we have to be fair with each other. So congratulations to you. And of course, viewers, let me share this last one with you before I go. On Friday of this week, we are going to be having, there's going to be a symposium in celebration of the life of LFS Barnum. And that symposium is going to be held under the theme, we're celebrating 1 year, because come next year, LFS Barnum would have celebrated, if he was alive, he would have celebrated 100 years. So we are going to be having a symposium there. There are lots of other activities that are leading up to that celebration in February. So Friday night is going to be another one is going to be held at the Education Lecture Theatre, University of Guyana, Turkine, Friday, September 29th, starting at 4 p.m. And we have quite a lot of interesting persons who form the panelists for that discussion there. And the theme is the centennial celebration of a visionary leader, LFS Barnum, OESC, Lyndon Forbes Sampson Barnum. And so we're going to end on that note. The man with the vision for Guyana, the man who moved us. But before I end there, let me say to you, you know what? This month we're celebrating Amerindian Heritage Month. Well, it's already almost, But listen to me. I want my indigenous brothers and sisters to know. You think the PPP care about y'all? They don't. Our international airport, the main one, was named Timeri International Airport, an Amerindian word, Timeri. They took that off because as far as they're concerned, our indigenous people, they ain't worth so much. So they took that name off and they replaced it with Chedi B. Jagan International Airport. While I understand the contributions and I applaud the contributions made by Chedi Jagan of this country, we could have named something else after him and left the name of the airport as Timeri International Airport. But I'm telling you these things because the PPP don't like you. They like your votes. That's what they like. But, all good things must come to an end. Jamaica have reggae. Trinidad has calypso. What do we have in Guyana? Corruption upon corruption and thieving and victimization and discrimination and more pink slips. That's what we have in Guyana once you have the PPP ruling. That's what we have in Guyana. But folks, good night to you. Take care on the road. We've been losing too many of our citizens, too many young men, too many young women. Be careful on the roads. Mind you, get some bleach, get the chlorine, put it in your tanks because the water coming brown as ever. Try to purify your water as far as possible. Well, I don't know what you're going to do with GPL. We got to ask Edgehill because I noticed the works on the Cemetery Road continuing there. So maybe some praying was done. Ask him to pray for GPL and the folks there and the power plant and so on so that we can be restored with electricity and it can be for long periods. But folks, so long for now. I'll see you again next week, Wednesday, for more on advancing the cause. We're going to be talking a little more about education next Wednesday. But some people ain't got no shame. And I'm going to have the song there to say, shame, shame, shame on you when we put up their pictures. But do take care, and may God continue to bless you. Tomorrow, we celebrate a holiday. Do be mindful of what you do. I think it's a Muslim holiday tomorrow. Do be mindful of what you do tomorrow. If you have to drink, be responsible. Be careful on the road. Look out for those who are not looking out for you, neither themselves. So be careful on the road. Enjoy the holiday tomorrow, and be good citizens of this country. Let's vote the PPP out. Have a good night. Take care.